Welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast. I'm here, of course, with my co-host Byron.
Hi.
I am Mike, and we're here to talk about WWE Raw for the week. Well, WWE Raw, Smackdown, 205 Live, and NXT, and we'll lead off with some Hell in a Cell stuff. Have you checked out Hell in a Cell yet?
No, I haven't.
You have not.
I keep meaning to get around to it, and then I'm like, can't be bothered.
I'll just give a cursory thought here. Pay-per-view is okay. Kevin Owens versus Jinder Mahal, or Shane McMahon, was very good. Charlotte Flair and Natalya was good until it got dumb at the end with Natty getting herself disqualified. To be clear, my problem isn't that she got disqualified. She's a heel. She can do that. But the fact that she did it while she was like in complete control of the match and just starts wailing on her with a chair, doesn't really make any sense.
Agreed.
Baron Corbin won the U.S. title. Match was fine.
I did watch that. That was a really good match, and I'm not really sure why they did the ending the way they did. I guess so that AJ didn't have to eat the pin, but I still don't. Nobody cares about Baron Corbin.
There was a point when they did, and then they buried him hard. They didn't know what to do with him once he was kind of like moderately over.
Well, the problem is that he could only get moderately over. Like, he was never really hated. People were just like, oh yeah, they're doing a bully character. That's a thing I guess you could do.
I think if they brought out more of what he brings out on SmackDown, it could work. But we'll talk about that later. Usos took the titles back from the New Day. I would have had the New Day retain, again related to what they do on SmackDown, but moving on. Gable and Benjamin won against the Hype Bros in the pre-show, and on the bad side, Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura was not any good. Randy Orton versus Rusev was, it was okay. Bobby Roode versus Ziggler was okay. So overall, it was a solid for what we're getting now from WWE pay-per-view, but it wasn't anything to go out of your way to see.
Which I have not done.
So let's move on to Raw, shall we?
Why will I go get another beer? Sell me on Raw.
So Raw. We open up with the Shield coming out to beat up on The Bar and Miz. I didn't like the fact that they didn't come out and do the actual Shield entrance. They kind of just did a standard entrance. I think if you go with the Shield reunion, I think you go all out. Jason Jordan beat Carl Anderson in a perfectly acceptable match. Elias Sampson beat Apollo Crews. I'm starting to ask, is this even a feud? Because he's now 4-0 against the Titus brand / Titus Worldwide.
It's the power of the lisp. It's the lisp that don't miss.
Yeah, but you'd think at some point, in order to make this a feud, Apollo or Titus has to actually beat him.
That would involve booking and intelligence, and they fire apparently good writers. So that's not.
Yep,
not going to happen.
We did more with the Mickie James is old, which is not great. Not great. They're doing like good things with it, like Bliss's delivery is good, Mickie James's fire is good, but just the storyline itself is nonsensical. Strowman beat Matt Hardy, but the Shield comes out and beats him up, and that's going to come into play later. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher defeated Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali in a pretty decent tag match. We got more stuff with Bray and Finn, nothing that really advances the plot. We had a 5-woman elimination match to face Asuka. The announcers fucked up the rules. They tried to sell me that this was a fatal 5-way, and then no. And Michael Cole's like, "Oh, I got it wrong. It's apparently an elimination match." I'm like, "That's good work." It involved Bayley, Sasha Banks, Emma, Alicia Fox, and Dana Brooke. Your favorite ring entrance of all time.
Entrance music.
Like most multi-women matches, it didn't really serve to get anyone over, and that's kind of a problem. And they also kind of tipped their hand a little bit early on because Bayley got eliminated second. And like going into this, I'm like, it's either Bayley or Emma that wins this, because I don't think you do Sasha Banks for Asuka's first program, and you definitely don't do Dana Brooke or Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
So they tipped that Emma was going to win pretty early on. She eliminated Sasha Banks last with the sneaky roll-up. And then Kalisto defeated Enzo for the Cruiserweight title, where basically they did a lumberjack idea with some of the heels actually taking Enzo's side and
you know what, I got
shooting
to see
up
this
some of the
match
faces
because I tuned into 205 Live and they replayed basically the entire match in very short clip form, so you don't need to watch Raw ever again because they just show it to you on 205 Live.
Actually, I'd watch this whole match in its entirety. It was not bad, actually. And this comes as someone who always feels like Enzo's going to kill himself during his matches.
True.
But no, this was pretty good. Technically, Enzo has a complete excuse for why he lost because Mustafa Ali fucked him. And the match was not terrible. It was good and a really good finish, actually, with an Avalanche Salido del Sol. Pretty good. And then in a Raw exclusive, after the show, Pippa Mann joined Titus Worldwide. And if you go to the YouTube clip that WWE uploaded of that, there's a lot of ridiculous jokes about two black men and a blonde chick.
Wait, Pimp a Man?
Pippa Mann. She's an IndyCar driver.
Alright.
She basically drives the Susan G. Coleman car at the Indianapolis 500 every year, basically. The pink cancer awareness car.
Okay.
And, the thing I missed was that Strowman ended up getting added to Team Miz, so it's a 4-on-3 Shield versus Strowman, The Bar, and Miz. Was a little surprised they didn't just add the Miztourage because the Shield had a promo where they talk about being able to beat any, like, it doesn't matter if it's 3 men, 4 men, 5 men. I'm like, well, why don't we just go with those 6-on-3 then? Let's stack this deck nice and hard.
That would make sense to me.
So, that was Raw. Pretty good, actually.
Throw K Quick in the mix for no reason whatsoever.
You know what? I didn't mind Raw. Didn't have any real problems with it. The women's 5-way was weak sauce, but everything else did its job to a degree. And even Elias versus Cruz was not a bad match. I just, at some point, is the Worldwide brand going to get some kind of revenge here?
Never. That's not how booking works, sir.
Then we move on to SmackDown, where we have this angle where the Usos and the New Day kind of declare a truce, and I don't get it. I just don't. They don't want to fight for the belt again. I don't understand.
Well, they fired their only writer, so.
Then we ended up with a multi-team match where Gable and Benjamin defeated Breezango, the Ascension, and the Hype Bros. This was actually a pretty fast-paced match. Pretty fun match, actually. I'd go back and watch this. Then we had the SmackDown women being basically bitches and fighting in the back. That's basically it. Which led to Becky Lynch tapping Carmella out in a match, which I have written here, thank God Becky got a win. And then we had Sami Zayn explaining why he helped Kevin Owens, and this was actually the highlight of the night because it's freaking Sami Zayn. He talks about, I did the right thing. I was doing the right thing. I came here. I was nice to people. I came to SmackDown, the land of opportunity. And Shane McMahon promised me that this was going to be a big change for my career, and then I never talked to him again until last week when I told him that Kevin Owens was a dangerous man, and he blew me off and told me to worry about myself. So I'm a little tired of this, and I see Kevin Owens. He's the Intercontinental Champion. Doesn't do anything that he's supposed to do, and it's working for him. So Stenerico's a thing again, and I appreciate this. Then we actually had a pretty good tag match. Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev and Aiden English. Nothing to really go out of your way to watch, and the feuds are absolutely pointless because Rusev is a jobber at this point, and Aiden English has always been a jobber. And then we had a Bludgeon Brothers promo, which they managed to make Eric Rowan and Luke Harper cornier than they were as the Wyatt family.
Holy shit.
That's.
I heard it was bad. I heard it was clown shoes on your head bad.
It was clown shoes on your head bad. I am Again, I don't know why the Wyatt family was ever broken up if you had no idea what to do with them.
They never have... Dude, why would you bring up the most over guy on NXT only to just kind of never put him on TV and then thrust him right into the U.S. title scene? Like, they didn't have anything for Ty Dillinger to do for 9 months.
Yeah, but you had Bray Wyatt. There were things to do with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. What?
Yeah.
The other sad thing is they've broken up the Wyatt family actually twice. And both times it's failed horrendously. Stop doing it!
Well, if they would, either not hire 60,000 writers and everybody gets to write one letter of a word in a paragraph, or, quit firing the ones that actually come up with good ideas.
We're repetitively referencing Jimmy Jacobs getting canned for taking a photo with the Bullet Club.
Correct. And listen, I am not a Jimmy Jacobs fan.
He is not. He is not, I assure you.
The guy's obviously got a head on his shoulders. He got the furry boots over again. I'll respect him for that. But the emo gimmick and the height of people being very apathetic towards emos, not the smartest idea in the world, which included me. But yeah, apparently the guy's got a fucking brain. He's like, hey, you should try and get this over. And then Jericho goes out and, he should really just be Jericho's handler. Like, hey, Jericho, I got this great idea. Go do this. Apparently it works.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just for Jericho. I don't know.
I think it's a little bit of Jericho, a little bit of Jimmy Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
Then, we're not done with Ziggler and Rude, because Rude's win at the pay-per-view was dirty. He had a handful of trunks. So, that'll continue, which, I don't know. We're just riding out the time until Ziggler leaves, I guess.
That's probably better than having a trunk full of hands.
And Baron Corbin finished off the show by beating AJ Styles clean to retain his United States title.
We can't book. Put up a giant neon sign that says, we can't book.
And then he goes like full bully and starts talking about, you're going to cry, you're going to weep while I have this title. And I'm like, kind of into this now.
Sounds like he had a handful of trunk full of cringe.
No, it's, you know what? It sounds cringy the way I sold it to you, but it was pretty good. I'd recommend looking it up. It was it was a good SmackDown. The matches were all, at the very least, decent. Multi-man tag match was actually very good. And Corbin and AJ Styles is not really capable of having a bad match.
Correct.
But skip over the Bludgeon Brothers and the women in the backstage, because those two segments should never be seen again.
Oh, I haven't watched a backstage women segment in 6 months.
It's a good call.
Something like that. It's like, they're interviewing one woman. That will involve the entire roster. Skip ahead 15 minutes because there's going to be 2 commercial breaks in there as well.
In fairness, it was your only chance to see Lana on the day.
Oh, well. Maybe I'll just put the mute button on that.
Alright, take us through 205 Live, boss.
205 Live! Well, like I said earlier, it opens up with a Raw recap, so there's zero reason you ever need to watch Raw ever again. Just watch 205 Live. You get the highlights of the most important stuff. Nigel had a really good line, something about the era of Enzo is no more. I enjoyed that. There was an interview that was spectacularly awkward. Please get what's her name? What's
Charlie or Dasha?
What's his name? What's Scruffy? What's Scruffy's wife's name? The redheaded guy from the John Moxley. What's John Moxley?
Oh, Dean Ambrose. Renee Young.
Renee Young, just don't. No more interviews. No, just no. Apparently she's good as a hostess on shows and stuff and doing sit-down backstage interviews, but she was very awkward in the ring interviewing people. And Kalisto is a black hole of charisma. He looks good. He moves pretty well. Can put together some moves. Not so much this week, but other times I've seen him do things. production blew their cue to play Enzo's music, so Kalisto had to say Enzo and then Enzo Amore, and I think he only had to do it twice, but there might have been a third time. He was like, "This is your fucking cue to play the man's music," and which they did eventually. Daivari came out with Enzo, just kind of as a bodyguard type figure, I guess. Wasn't the best. I gotta say, actually, this was probably the worst Enzo promo I've heard out of him, because it felt like it was very impromptu, like they weren't supposed to, like this whole thing was stupendously awkward from front to back, and I think it was very much like, whoa, shit, something happened, we need you to go out there and fill time.
Well, I think a lot of this is impromptu, because I don't think Kalisto was supposed to take the belt at this point.
No, he wasn't. So. It was, because your boy, Pac, now, since we're talking about 205 Live, we might as well talk about your boy Pac, a.k.a. Mean Neville.
Adrian Neville.
Indeed. So, reports are still kind of floating around that he is 100% no longer going to be participating with anything to do with the company. Apparently, they have not given him his release yet, but he's just like, nope, sorry, done. So that was...
Oh, you want me to come to 205 Live? That's cute.
That's adorable. He's pretty much the biggest heel in the company? Is there a bigger heel in the company? No.
Quite possibly Enzo still.
Samoa Joe? Yeah, Enzo, Samoa Joe, maybe. Braun doesn't count because Braun's awesome. And they don't know how to get him heel heat. Yeah, probably him. He's probably the biggest heel in the company right now, and they just don't know what to fucking do with him. But Enzo did have some good lines in this opener, but overall it felt very rushed. Like somebody would just like got hurt and there wasn't an opening match, so they're like, go out there and fill time.
Okay.
After that, we had a 2 out of 3 falls match between TJP and Swan. And Swan cut a promo before the match. He's like, hey, before you come down here, blah, 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 blah. The problem is that he was saying things, it was like the reverse Tears of a Clown, where he was saying mean things, but he was super happy and fun times and very chuckalicious and just kind of grinning into the camera and when he's saying mean stuff.
Yeah, they don't really let him be anything but happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, well, no, but at the end of it, he went serious face, and he's like, I hope this is worth it for our friendship, or something like that. Pretty garbage. So when he hit his serious face, that was actually the funniest part. It was not good. And the mic, the ringside mic was stupendously hot. You could hear everything. So, probably somebody fire production. Bucky Beaver Teeth, I'm looking at you.
Look at you, Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn! Swan got a quick roll-up for the first fall. And I have a note here which says, which means TJ will get the second fall and then predictably lose after that. And then halfway through the match, Holla Holla Playa, surprise, surprise, they've mysteriously made a tag match as the main event of the evening, because apparently they didn't have a main event of the evening booked already on a TV show. So they're going to have your boys Enzo and Daivari versus your boys Average Dragon, not Super Dragon, Average Dragon, and Mufasa Ali. And so that's going to be the main event for some reason. They should just do things like NXT. They should just do like NXT and like we'll do that next week. Tune in next week. Give you people something to tune into.
WWE in general should be doing that because half the time these shows go on with no main event.
Yeah, apparently they never ever book a main event. It's like, oh, surprise, surprise, this is your main event.
We're going to get a cruiserweight title match tonight that we have not built in any way to generate ratings or an audience for.
Giving this away for free on TV. Fucking idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see. Basically, TJ beat Rich Swan's ass from pillar to post using big spots all the time. And I have a note here saying TJ is having all the big spots, so he will lose. And then it went a long time with some big spot action and a bunch of rest holds. And I have a note here saying, this is going on way too long without a second fall. Swan might just sweep the match. And that's exactly what happened about a minute later. So Swan went two straight falls out of 3 for the win. There was an extended little jangly knee dance session thing that I skipped over. And, one thing he said in his pre-match super happy threaten time was that there would be no handshakes and the friendship would be over. So, fine. And that's kind of what happened. Then we cut to a backstage promo where Enzo is hanging out with his boy Daivari, and he does a great Lion King, it's almost like a Lion King freestyle, and I would definitely recommend checking this out. Enzo just kind of got stronger as the night wore on, and very enjoyable. Your boy Andrew Garlic showed up and did a fine job of interjecting himself. Daivari called him Captain Underpants, which was fantastic, and he's like, "No, fuck you, man." Apparently, also Andrew Garlic's PowerPoint presentation is available on demand on the network.
Yeah, he's been doing that for the last couple of weeks.
I don't know if that's actually true, but I will
feel the need to go look at this now.
Yeah, pretty much. And so he does his shtick and he wanders off, and Enzo's like, he and Daivari have been just kind of being ear raped by Andrew Garlic. I'm talking about Drew Gulak, anybody who's not paying attention. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he just basically ear beats him to death and then wanders off kind of with his little strutty pose. And Enzo and Daivari are just kind of like thunderstruck, and Enzo turns to Daivari, he's like, "What just happened?" Something terrible. And they cut to black.
I'm gonna have to go watch that. I don't know about the rest of the show, but that'll pull up.
It was good. Like I said, Enzo just got stronger and stronger as the night went on. In Mr. Garlic's promo, he mentioned about his match against your boy Tozawa tonight. There was a reverse ethnic Pearl Harbor. Basically, Tozawa came out, Gulak fucking Pearl Harbored him, reversed racially, and then continued to harbor. Harboring intensifies is the note I have here, including a throat shot with his no chance sign. And then my final note says, "Not an actual match then." Cedric Alexander promo, to which my note says, Enzo may have been right about the lack of charisma. That's all I have here. It was not good.
He had charisma on the independents. That's really all I can say.
He's just softballing the softball answers back in there with the softball questions. He's not doing anything.
Yep.
Put a mask on him or something. Just have him be enigmatic. Something. God. Make him be Ember Moon's older brother, who is now very enigmatic, even though she's not anymore either. Make it make no sense. It'll be fine.
Just turn him into Killshot.
Yeah, pretty much. Killshot's OP. We have your main event of the evening is Mufasa Ali and Average Dragon versus Enzo and Daivari. Enzo came out, did another promo, third one of the night. Dude is carrying this entire thing on his fucking back. I don't remember the particulars of the promo, but I have here Enzo's promo gets stronger all night. Ali spent way too much time in the ring. It was real obvious who was going to win that match, because you just have one guy spend a lot of time in the ring, and then you get the hot tag, and then you get the big comeback, and then you get the big win. Yay! The one highlight, I'm going to point this out right now. This may have been the most risky yet awesome move I have seen, not counting New Japan big spots. Okay?
Okay.
He did a no hands handspring back elbow.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, oh, okay, he pulled it off. Because I saw him, I'm like, I've seen 1,000 handspring back elbows, and Tajiri does the best one, and you just can't, oh my god, you almost died. He was straight vertical, hit the ropes, his arms were at his side, not touching the mat, and then sprung off, landed it, hit it. Amazing. Simply amazing. Half man, half not too bad, half amazing. And then your boy Average Dragon Kalisto won the match with Destino, and then we went home with Enzo being not happy. And by the way, Enzo has invoked his rematch clause for TLC, so I don't know what kind of match they're going to have, but we'll find out, I guess. Ladder match?
Ladder match would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would go with that anyways.
Has anybody had just a chairs match?
Yeah, there's always a chairs match.
Oh. Well, I guess it's like a no DQ match, and they'll have a lot of chairs.
There's a chairs match, a ladder match, a table match, and then the full TLC.
Yeah. And then, that's basically it. Hit the Destino. The crowd was kind of weird for the show. Like, some points they were super hot, some points they were just totally quiet. Some points, kind of, like, you could hear that one guy that should be drowned out by everybody else having a good time. The guy who goes, like, woo, but does it off-key and can't do it right, or goes, rah! And just has, like, the really off-key, weird, warbly, like, yell that will blend in nicely to a crowd, but this was not as hot a crowd, so he kind of stood out. Cropped up a couple times. It was pretty entertaining. That might have been the best part, other than the Enzo promos and your boy Andrew Garlic.
I did have a thought earlier today about why I have reservations about the Enzo Mori-led 205.
What's that?
Well, what it is that if you recall when Neville came to 205, and, you know, he'd been on Raw, and then came to 205, and became the Cruiserweight Champion, and so on, it brought a lot of momentum to the show. Not as much as Enzo, and not in the same way. But it brought a lot of momentum in the show, which they then killed because no one else got over. Except for Austin Aries, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried that this is the same thing. We brought someone from Raw, it will spike the show for a bit, but no one else is really getting over.
I don't think that's going to happen, because Enzo's going out of his way to engage with pretty much everybody, whereas Neville really only wrestled or talked to or about the one person who's in the main event program with him. Enzo's going out of his way to, like, he's got Mustafa Ali involved. He's got Kendrick involved. He's got Daivari involved. He's got Kalisto involved. Kalisto just showed up, and he's now very involved. He's talked shit about Cedric Alexander. I am talking shit about Cedric Alexander because he's talking shit about Cedric Alexander. There's definitely an effect there. Tozawa, not so much, because apparently he and Tozawa are kind of friends-ish, maybe? And Drew Gulak is involved, because Drew Gulak is, well, I mean, if you watch the promo, you'll see what's going on there. There's a little bit of a reservation, but he's also sucking up to him. But I mean, I can't think of, well, I mean, Lince Dorado's not involved, because Lince Dorado's never involved.
My boy Lince Dorado.
Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik are the only two I can think of that aren't directly involved in this whole carnival of nonsense. Which, I mean, the more exposure you give everybody, and the more verbal attention you give somebody, the more attention other people are going to give them as well. So
I just don't know if they know how to get anyone over, though.
Oh, they don't. They don't have a fucking clue.
That's my thing. Like, if you had competent writers, I would have absolutely no reservations. None.
Yeah, no, they don't
whatsoever.
They don't have a fucking clue, but I'm hoping, like, Ali seems to be able to get himself over, but he's missing that one little it factor. He's missing something. He's missing, like, a personality trait, or he's missing a little something, but when he finds it, it's going to be great. Daivari pretty much has himself together. It's just a matter of he's kind of stuck with the same old, tired, rich, Middle Eastern guy thing. Which nobody really... Isn't the dude from... we've looked this up before. Is he not from fucking Michigan?
Yes.
So, just what I would do to put a little spicy spin on things is, sure, you're rich. Sure, your family's from the Middle East, but you're an American. So Americanize it. become like the rich American who happens to have money from overseas. Do something new and different.
I mean, I'd be 100% behind that.
Yeah, like say, like come out like one day and say, listen, in my hometown of blah blah blah, Michigan, I bought up all of the cheeseburger franchises, and I fucking closed them all down because you fat fucks are all, do something like that. We're gonna clean up.
It would be nice because they're, for all intents and purposes, just using the Jinder Mahal gimmick for Daivari.
Oh, everybody's apparently got to be Nikita Koloff or something. I don't fucking know.
Well, Koloff was never rich.
No, but I mean, this vaguely scary foreigner bullshit.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting that they're not doing that with Tozawa, because I mean they've already got one very friendly foreigner in Nakamura. So I mean you can't have two. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's because the Japanese are over right now.
Correct.
All right, let's get into NXT here. Lead us in, although I'll be more participation on this one, because I've actually seen NXT. I didn't see 205.
There you go. We were opening up with what I was led to believe is going to be a women's triple threat match.
Correct.
We lead off with the boner killer alert of the alien-looking chick in the purple with the very over-tanned and heavily mascaraed brown chick that's, I'm pretty sure she's actually white. So the gruesome twosome made their way down, and then
Peyton
we had
Royce and Billie Kay.
Yeah. Then we had Liv Morgan showed up, and she's all decked out in yellow, but she's not wearing yellow lipstick, which is weird because I thought that was her whole gimmick, because she's wearing outlandish shit. But she seems to stick with the purple lipstick, which is interesting. And then I'm pretty sure she also botched her flip in. Like she was going to do like a knee drop slingshot flip over the ropes, and she missed, and it was almost scary. So, and then she bounced. She was obviously really kind of nervous, so she bounced around a lot more than I think she was supposed to, and eventually did the whole sit on the ropes thing. And then Nikki Cross's music hit. And I was like, my note says, oh shit, it's Nikki. Well, I know who's winning this one.
Yeah, you wish you do.
That would have been, I mean, hey, you're going to have a women's title match. You might want to have the best wrestlers in the fucking match. Just an idea.
Or at least like some of your best. Like, I kind of said it is that I kind of, in my booking, I wouldn't have had either Nikki or Ruby Riott in the match. Because I would have had one of them beat the other to get in the match.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, there should be a level of worker in that match that is good, and Peyton Royce is not it.
Yeah, she's pretty much the worst. I enjoyed the opening unwilling double clothesline spot. That was fucking funny.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it.
They couldn't tell, like, oh, who are we going to attack? Are we going to attack? Are we both going to gang up on the crazy chick? Are we going to are the crazy chick and I going to gang up on you, or what's going on? And then Nikki just kind of grabbed Liv's arm, and Liv's like, what are we doing? What's going on? What's happening? Ah!
We're going to kill the Aussie.
Yeah. Also, I really need Nigel McGuinness to stop trying to sell me on the chick who weighs 1/8 of a pound being the toughest girl in the company. She's just so tough. She's got a brother, and she's just tough.
It's just not. Just stop trying to sell me Peyton Royce in any way.
It's not Peyton Royce. They're trying to put Liv Morgan over as like the toughest son of a bitch ever.
He's done it with Peyton Royce as well a couple times. Don't do it with either of them. It doesn't work.
It's so bad. It's just
they're both my favorite generic to pick on women's wrestler of I'm a hot chick. That's my character. Why am I here?
Yeah. I will give props to some of the gruesome twosome. That was an interesting Tarantula version. That was different and exciting. I liked that. I have in my notes here, Peyton Royce doing some interesting things with flexibility. Maybe that's why she has a job. Uh-huh. Possibly. So I don't know who taught her how to do that, but whoever that was, total props. There was some mention on commentary that this was now a no DQ match.
Technically speaking, triple threat matches are always no DQ.
Okay, so why did they break up the Tarantula?
I don't know why. And I've always wondered this because, they make a big deal about it. It's like, okay, so why do I not just beat you to death with a baseball bat when we get in the ring? Because, if I'm a heel, I can do that.
Yep.
And especially if I'm Nikki Cross, I can do that.
Mm-hmm. There was a great Tower of Doom spot. Enjoyed that.
I thought Royce sandbagged that like fuck.
Oh, she totally did, yeah.
Which kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, but Nikki made her go through a little bit
of it. That was like Nikki Cross going, no, we're doing this.
Yes, Nikki Cross will not be denied. There was I have notes in here. Screw job. Booking can't do anything right. So, they were having a good match. Things were going well. Even one some of the gruesome twosome couldn't fuck this up. And didn't do a horrible, horrible job yet. And we're going to fuck it up by having a screw finish because we don't know how to have a match.
I was kind of okay with the idea that the Undisputed guys would kind of back a female to somehow mess this up.
Yeah.
But I have two massive objections to how they did it. Number one, I would have had them back someone who is actually in a match. That can be their representative going forward for the female title.
Yeah.
Two, if you really pay attention, the Undisputed thing has been all about ROH connections to a degree. There are women you had in the Mae Young Classic that I assume you could have or did sign who have some level of connection to ROH. I would have used one of them instead of Tainara Conti. And I like Tainara Conti. She's an attractive girl. She has an interesting style. Super green. But she's a judo girl. I think she'll turn into something good.
Yeah, I had to listen, I had no idea who she was. Not a clue. And I don't know who it was. It might have been Percy Jackson there. It said Tainara Conti. And I have it spelled just phonetically like that with a question mark at the end.
It's Taynara.
No, I have it spelled not that way, but Tainara Conti. And then my next note after that was this match took a massive dump.
Yeah. It was not well done because, again, like I said, Miss Conti, very attractive lady, lot of upside, green as fuck.
Yeah, and then the next two notes are, they just put the worst worker in the company in the women's title match. And then the next note is, in quotes, pay-an? Maybe you should have a check to see that your ring announcers don't have a massive speech impediment. It's pay-an!
Yeah.
Pay-an!
Why do I need Peyton Royce in this match? I don't understand.
Nobody does. It's stupid. Egregious.
If you're gonna put one of the Aussies, at least do Billie Kay. Billie Kay can at least do striking spots.
Yeah, but she can't sell. If anything, she's worse at selling than Peyton Royce.
Yeah, but she's bigger, so she can get away with not selling as much. Peyton Royce is freaking tiny. She has to sell. Billie Kay, at least you can go with kind of obviously not a Nia Jax angle or something, but something akin to what would be a good Taya, to a degree, actually. Would be she's of similar size.
Yeah, but Taya's got talent.
Oh, Taya is much, much better. I'm in no way saying Billie Kay is Taya. I'm just saying she's big enough that in there with tiny girls, she can get away with not selling all that well.
Taya with zero training, showing up on the first day, would beat the shit out of both of those.
Probably.
After that, we had Lio Rush versus the Velveteen Dream, and my first note is, why did this get booked? Can we hope for a black mass before the match even starts?
Well, I mean, I know why this was booked. I mean, he did fuck up Lio Rush's debut, but I didn't like the fact that commentators were trying to say, what a debut for Lio Rush! I'm like, he already had his debut. It was called getting jumped by the Velveteen Dream.
Yeah. The opening 30 seconds of the match was fantastic.
It was Lio Rush beat Lio Rush.
And then Mr. Patrice Clark kind of did his average stuff. And it was okay. I mean, he does a very good job, or he does an adequate job when he's in there with a very good wrestler, which he was. So this was not a bad match, but it could have been a very, very good match or a great match had he wrestled anybody else on the roster that has had experience and training.
Like Aleister Black.
Perhaps.
Why did we not get Lio Rush versus Aleister Black, and then you could do the same thing with the Velveteen Dream jumping Lio Rush, but you do it after the match.
Yeah.
Like after Black has won, come out, dispose of Lio Rush, say my name. Just
pretty
do the
much.
same thing.
So yeah, my final note here is Leo is great. Clark is not yet good. Purple Rainmaker. Ugh.
His Death Valley Bomb is actually quite good.
Oh yeah, that's great. But, I mean, he's doing an elbow drop and they're calling it the Purple Rainmaker. Dude, Okada called. Get off his dick.
Yeah. Then we had Lars Sullivan versus Danny Burch.
Actually, I have it written down as Large Sullivan.
Well, I mean, you always do.
I have one note for this match. Noise.
I have two. I like the side spinebuster and the pin, and Lorcan's match was better, but I also enjoyed this.
Correct. Yes, that is an accurate assessment. If I was to watch, if I was to tell somebody to watch both of these matches, I would say, watch the Birch match. As I yawn into the microphone. Watch the Birch match first, and then watch the Lorcan match. It won't make any sense from a storyline perspective, but that's kind of like you want to ramp up your quality. That's kind of what I would propose. This wasn't a bad match. It was a good match. It just wasn't as good as the other one.
Yeah, Lorcan works better as a jobber in like squash matches because his offense is so reckless that it kind of sells itself even in the squash capacity.
Yeah.
Which Birch doesn't quite have that same feel.
Correct. Yeah, Birch has got more kind of like the seasoned veteran thing going on, which doesn't really lead well to squashes.
Then we had Street Profits and Jobbers.
And after that, we had the main event.
I will say a few words. If you've seen any Street Profits match versus Jobbers, you don't need to see this one. And that's the problem with this match. At some point, the Street Profits have to face off with someone that is going to tell me something about them. Perhaps a feud with Red Boss and Tito Sabatelli, who have not been used as a tag team in ages.
I got a few things to say. A, the fat one can't jump. Stop doing jump spots with the fat one. B, the skinny one's obviously got worms. The dramatic weight loss should be a tip-off. The erratic screaming and wiggling of his butt and dragging his asshole across the carpeting is a genuine second sign. You should probably have that guy dewormed.
Alright, let's talk about the main event.
Main event was okay. There were some great spots. The tornado flatliner was pretty fucking sick. But overall, I would just say that it was good. And Almas is obviously lazy. Like, there's a lot of spots in this match where Gargano had to wait. Like, there was an extra second between where he left off and Almas should have grabbed onto something, or Almas should have switched a position, or Almas should have changed the hold, or whatever. But Almas is just, like, he might legitimately have been drunk, because the delayed reaction was just like that. Just like,
Almas is, at this point, living his gimmick, which is Andrade Cien Almas does not care. And the thing is, La Sombra, the man behind Andrade Cien Almas, also does not care. This is Tetsuya Naito without Naito caring.
Yeah.
Like, the character of Naito doesn't care. The actual person does. This is the double. My character doesn't care, and I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, basically they effed him over much like they've done to Kenta, and I feel like Kenta's talking about going back to Japan. And
I would. If I was him, I totally would.
No, you know what? If I'm any foreign star from Japan or even the UK or Mexico, I I don't come to NXT. I just don't. Because I will make more money and not get fucked over in my homeland.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't bother going to the WWE at all. It's a total waste of time at this point. They wait, if you can, just wait till Vince officially retires, and then even then wait like a year, because he won't have actually retired. It's just not worth your time. They don't care about your style. They don't care about... They're hiring a name that somebody has floated through across their desk on a memo, and they're like, this guy's really popular. Cool, maybe we can capitalize on that by having him work exactly the same style as everyone else.
I think the theory is that we will protect our dominance of the North American market by bringing in every big star that people could build the company around against us, and we will kill them because we'll make them seem incredibly unspecial.
Yep. We'll just have them work the same match that we had Tito Santana work back in 1988. And it worked then. Why wouldn't it work now?
And it's really sad because there's a bunch of really good workers.
Yeah, I mean, they got Lio Rush, they got Aleister Black, a.k.a. Tommy End. They got Chris Hero, who should be on TV every week. They got Kenta. They got fucking Kenta. Jesus Christ. You could make a whole promotion out of just some of the guys from NXT.
Roddy Strong, Adam Cole, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly.
If you took Redragon, Chris Hero, Lio Rush, and Aleister Black, you got a promotion to put on. You got those guys. You're making money. You're making a lot of money.
Yep.
It boggles the fucking mind.
Yeah. I think the only thing really to touch on in this match, other than it's solid, but if you're gonna watch a Gargano versus Almost match, watch the Takeover one. Vega did the whole. She was wearing a DIY T-shirt underneath her top. And she used that to distract Gargano to allow Almost to escape the Gargano escape.
Yeah, they need to rename that move because people escape that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's submission holds in general. None of them have the impact they used to.
Correct.
Like, there was a time when, Walls and Jericho are locked on, match is over. Benoit's crippler crossface is locked on, match is over. Bret Hart, sharpshooter, etc. There is no submission hold like that anymore.
No,
maybe Charlotte Flair's figure eight. Maybe that's maybe the only one.
I've seen Sasha Banks get out of it like 16 times.
Yeah, but at least Banks is like special. She's like super flexible, super small, hard to control. Like at least it's like specific people that get out of that. Most people don't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the same with like Becky Lynch's Disarmer. It's like everyone escapes from that. Why? And that one particularly doesn't make any sense, because once that's in, you should just be able to snap the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Natty Neidhart, sharpshooter, and Naomi's glow lock, which admittedly is bad to begin with.
Correct. I haven't seen her, because I don't watch that particular show anymore.
Yeah, she was in the backstage segment with the bitches cat fight, but that's about it.
LOL! The thing of it is that I haven't even, I watch... pretty reliably, I'll watch the Wrestle Talk recaps. I don't remember her being mentioned since she lost the title. Is she just not used, period, anymore? Have they realized she's a black hole?
She had one or two matches with Carmella.
Oh, that'll burn the house down.
And then they transition Carmella over to Becky Lynch.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, that's all we have for WWE this week. We kind of covered the news that was worthy of being news, I guess. I'm
wondering, just as speculation, we've had Austin Aries just up and quit being in the main event picture for his division.
Like 5 months.
Yeah, we had Neville up and quit after being the champion for not a year, but a while. 9 months?
I'll look it up.
Yeah. do that.
The WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Longest reign, Neville, 197 days. That was his first one. And then on top of that, he also had that 35-day reign. So total days as champion, 233.
There you go. So with that, and then we had Cody Rhodes, who was a veteran of the company with multiple titles under his belt, just fucking go, you know what, I'm done here. So would that open the door for other people to go?
You're also got Dolph Ziggler talking about leaving.
Yeah, totally. I mean, wait, what if he shows up in Japan?
Oh, and Jack Swagger told him to piss off and give him his release.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything.
He didn't do anything. Like, he was no loss. Like, he wasn't even on TV. But still, a lot of people are starting to just say, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. I mean, from a professional level, it's not. Maybe, listen, if they keep losing talent, is it worth... is it worth it financially? Like, I don't know how much money there is floating around, but if they're paying guys more money than they can be making hitting up 5 indies a month, I guess it's worth it.
I think the logic has always been with WWE, there's that guaranteed downside, which helps. But, speaking as a man who, if I was a wrestler, I'd be doing it for the passion. I'd be in WWE for a little bit just to make that money, but not for very long, because I think it would kill my passion to perform. And I think if you have no passion for wrestling, I don't know if it's something you should be doing. It's the kind of thing that your heart really has to be in.
Yeah. And you know what? I guess if you've been there a long time, if you're in a Roman Reigns type situation, why would you bother going anywhere?
Roman Reigns, they're actually doing stuff with me. I mean, the company's built around me.
Yeah.
But for a lot of these guys, they're just getting wasted.
Yep. So yeah, I'm just kind of wondering and speculating: is it worth the? And it's obviously not worth any indie guy showing up. It's just not worth it. Go ask Sami Callihan. It's really, really not worth it. So if please Ricochet.
So please Ricochet. I know you got to go there. I know you got to go there for Tessa, but don't stay long.
Yeah, just if it's not worth new talent showing up, why would it be worth anybody that's mid-card or lower sticking around?
Yeah, especially those that work a style that could get over on the indies. I.e. not The Miz.
Lio Rush,
yeah. Lio Rush they will do nothing with. Like, Vince McMahon will see, he weighs what now? 156 pounds?
Yeah.
No, bro. He's feeding him to Strowman a couple times and then giving his walking papers.
Yeah, they'll job him out to Jack Swagger. I mean Jack Gallagher. I mean Jack whoever.
Just Jack. That guy Jack.
He probably doesn't even know that Jack Swagger doesn't work for him anymore. That's probably how twisted that guy is.
Probably. Well, I think he also may have forgotten that Jack Swagger worked for him while he was still there.
Probably.
Hey, Jack Swagger wants his release. Who?
See, he would be perfect. They should totally re-sign him. They could package him with Eliath Thampton and with Lars Sullivan. It could be the best.
You're really ever pushing for this Lisp Nation stable.
Indeed. It could be the best stable of all history.
Alright, so that's all we got for WWE. One thing, I talked to you about this earlier. We may be giving an additional podcast per week called Mike versus Byron, where we take a professional wrestling related topic. One of us takes one side of it, the other takes the other side, or sort of and getting into it. My first topic I was going to suggest is professional wrestlers who would make good MMA fighters. Was my first thought. Because
interesting.
A lot of people, because of the CM Punk debacle, pro wrestlers, no, not tough, not tough. Couldn't do anything in a real fight. Ignoring the success of the Brock Lesnar's, Ken Shamrock's, Minoru Suzuki's, Kazushi Sakurabas of the world.
And your boy Bobby Lashley.
And Bobby Lashley kind of lacks like that one like real win, I guess, that still keeps him from being quite legit.
Correct.
But yeah, so what we're gonna do is our first topic is gonna be we're gonna each come up with 3 wrestlers who could become good MMA fighters. When I say good, I mean like get a run in the UFC, not like champion or anything, but they could be there. They could maybe attain a top 15 ranking in a division, sort of thing. And we'll talk about 3 of them, and you can let us know in the comments what you think, who won, who did the best job of making their case, and what you'd like to see us debate as well. Because honestly, our tangents are probably the best things about our podcast, so we might as well just embrace the tangent.
I am very tangential.
So that's all we got for this time around. Until next time, I'm Mike. He's Byron. We're the Squared Circle Jerks, and get off Byron's lawn.
Pass off